Well, what up, and welcome to our Mindset Masterclass. Today is week 17, and actually, today is a sequel to last week's talk on the number one success formula known to man, which is want, work, wait. Last week, we talked about why, if you're able to progress through those three steps, wanting, putting in the work, and putting in the weight, that you can accomplish anything you'd ever want to accomplish in life. But today, I have to impress upon you that out of that three-step formula, waiting is by far the most important. And hopefully, I will do a great job today of helping you to understand why that is the case. First and foremost, think about this saying. The saying goes, and we've all heard it, good things come to those who wait. You got it. You got it. Well, if we think about that, that last word, good things come to those who fill in the blank, it could have been anything. It could have been good things come to those who want. It could have been good things come to those who work. It could have been good things come to those who strive. It could have been good things come to those who are strong. Good things come to those who fight. Good things come to those who rest. Good things come to those who are rich. Anything, any word could have filled this cliche, and what we have to understand is the cliche is generally commonly accepted knowledge, right? So we know that these types of sayings have been passed down from generation to generation, and they have some logic. They make sense. So why did they stop with the word wait? Why is the word wait the thing that elicits good things to come your way? And that's exactly what we're going to talk about, because waiting is the most powerful action you can ever take towards accomplishing your goal. But there's a specific type of waiting that we're going to embark upon today. First, I need you to know that waiting is the most critical factor of the three factors that we mentioned. Now, wanting, as we talked about, is something that comes natural. Wanting is something that we often don't even know why we want a thing. It's almost like a gift from God. It's endowed upon us to want something, whether it be to want a person, to want an accomplishment, to even to want to eat something. Our urges, our human nature aren't something that we contrive ourselves. It's given to us. It's a gift. But then once we want something, we work. We go out and put in actions or output in order to achieve that desire. But then there's always a wait. Okay, and waiting is the most critical factor, the most critical factor, and it is actually more weighty, for lack of a better word, than either wanting or working. And you may say, why? If I gave you a choice and I said, hey, you've got one thing that you're going to do, and you've got one thing that you're able to do in order to accomplish your goal, would it be the want? Would it be the work? Or would it be the wait? Most people would say the work. But think about this, another commonplace saying: faith without works is dead. You may think that the critical component of that statement is works, but the critical component of the statement is what starts the statement. It's faith, because what you're trying to accomplish in that through that statement, faith without works is dead, is faith. It's the work that you're using to accomplish the faith. Therefore, the word work is magnifying the word faith. Therefore, the goal, the premise, the most important factor of the entire sentence or cliche or whatever we want to call it is the word faith. And waiting is faith. Waiting is aka your unstoppable force. Waiting is actually the work element of faith. It is a spiritual work to actually be in wait mode. And I don't know about you, but I would never want to go towards accomplishing a goal without my spirit man. I, if any of you are only accomplishing your goal within your body, meaning you're just going to train, you're just going to shoot the shots, you're just going to lift the weights, you're just going to do the running without without the spiritual energy. We talk about animalistic energy, we talk about willpower, all those things are your spirit person. Your spirit being has to be into what you want. And so often, you all, as young people today, have removed that spiritual element, that sheer willpower, that faith in a higher power, that something good's going to happen for you. And that all of these things is why waiting far outweighs wanting or working. So waiting equals your willpower, as I just mentioned. Why is that? Because waiting involves a patient persistent, the type of waiting we're talking about. It's not just waiting, laying on the couch, eating Cheetos and watching video games or playing video games. A lot of you guys watch video games now. But it is actually a patient persistence, meaning every day I'm going to get up and I'm going to do what I've been called to do. Every workout, every time I sow a seed that's towards my future, towards my goal, I'm going to do it with the faith to know that this is going to ultimately end up where I want it to. This is going to ultimately lead me to my goal. Okay. So there's so much will easier than waiting, quitting. You know what's easier than waiting? Whining. You know what's easier than waiting? Switching up. And we do that all the time. I'm even guilty of this. I get a goal, and literally this YouTube channel is one. I want to get to 100,000 subscribers, and from those words to God's ears, I'm believing that that's going to happen. But even after just 2 months, I'm like, why hasn't it happened yet? I, I'm tired of waiting already. And what that is why waiting takes willpower. Waiting takes patient persistence to get up, record videos every day, to do my reading, to do my writing, to do my research, and to continue to believe like I did day one. And that's what you guys have to do. You have to not only have patient persistence, but you have to have delayed gratification. There's almost nothing that sucks worse than delayed gratification. Just imagine the piece of cake or the piece of pie or the cupcake or whatever your thing is right in front of you. Yet you can't eat it. Yet you can't have it. That goal is right in front of you. You've seen other people partake of it, but you can't have it. Now, if you do that to a young child, what's their first natural reaction? They want to throw a tantrum and throw a fit. And even us who are not children feel the same way. Delayed gratification takes willpower. Consistency, despite negativity, also takes willpower, meaning that you're going to go through failure, you're going to go through haters, you're going to go through losses, you're going to go through setbacks, you're going to go through not feeling like it, you're going to go through sicknesses, you're going to go through pain, you're going to go through opposition, you're going to go through all these things, yet still have to maintain your faith. And this is what waiting is. And this is why waiting is not only so powerful, but it's so freaking hard. That's right. waiting is hard because waiting equals work. We have to understand when we go into any goal, when we go into anything, I don't care if you're cooking a meal, if you're trying to get an A in a class, if you're trying to impress a girl or impress a boy, if you're whatever the case may be, you're trying to win a relationship, you're trying to get a job, you're trying to get better at anything. It is always a process. It's never, think about it. Anything that I could tell you, you wish it right now and you can have it, and I guarantee you, you won't even want it, including that boy and that girl, that boy or that girl or whatever the case may be. If you got it too easy, you wouldn't even want it. So faith and waiting is a part of all processes that it takes to get better and accomplish anything. Waiting also promotes learning because, as I mentioned, while we're waiting, what am I doing? I'm researching. I'm writing every day. I'm reading every day. I'm speaking every day. So I'm learning the nuances of what it takes to be a presenter or an educator or a performer. The same thing is happening to you as you go through this journey and you're building your body up day to day, day by day. You're improving in your skill set day by day. You're improving in your leadership day by day. Well, you know what you're doing? You're learning how to be a higher level person. I see all these. I see many adults. You probably know a lot of them who haven't gone through any processes in their life. Maybe they never went to school. Maybe they never played a sport or did an activity at a high level. Maybe they had nothing in their life that pushed them. And I can guarantee you, 9 times out of 10, they're probably not somebody you consider a high level individual. And it's because they haven't been through processes. Think about people who have been to law school, become doctors, been to the military, become a nurse, done anything, become a mother, a high level who's a high level mother or high level father, become preachers, anybody who has accomplished something, been through something that was a process. Most likely, they're a respected individual and somebody who's considered a high level human being. So you only get these things, you only earn this level through learning more about yourself and leveling up. And that takes a weight. The other thing, and maybe the most important thing that waiting produces is patience. And patience always produces power. Because, like I said, when I talked about delayed gratification, if you have the ability to wait, there's nothing you can't ultimately have. But are you willing to wait? That's the hard part, right? If I told you you will not be your team's leading scorer this year, but 18 months from now you will be, you you feel that? Some of you are like that angst, that anger, like, why can't I have it now? I want to be the leading scorer this year. Well, it may not come this year, but if you're willing to wait on it, I guarantee you it's going to come at some point. And that is why waiting equals work. Now, lastly, I want to teach you how to become worthy of the wait. I want to teach you some steps, if you will, to level up to where you can become a consistent waiter, somebody who is patiently persistent and all those other things that we've talked about. Number one, you've got to embrace the process. As I said earlier, you have to recognize that all things are a process. You didn't learn to walk in one day. You didn't learn your ABCs in one day. You didn't learn to drive in one day, if some of you are already driving. So all of these things are a process, and you have to learn to embrace processes. What that entails is there's going to be a part where you fall down a lot. There's going to be a part where you make progress, and there's going to be a part where you're still not quite where you want to be, although you've made progress. All of that could be frustrating, but you have to understand that it's all part of the process. Embrace the process. The other thing is chase the check boxes. Sometimes it's about showing up each and every day. And one of the things you can do to gamify the waiting process is to develop a checklist, develop some initiatives or a schedule or a calendar that lays out what you're committed to on a day-to-day or weekly or monthly basis. I know for me, I'm committed to producing 3 YouTube videos every single week. So when I do that, I check the boxes. I don't worry about when my 100,000 is going to come. I don't worry about any of the other things of the process. I just worry about what I can control. How that relates to you is if you're someone who gets up to shoot, if you're someone who gets up to run, if you're someone who stays late, if you're someone who goes to a trainer, if you're someone who's doing whatever your extra work is that doesn't involve your team, that doesn't involve anything other than something that you're completely focused on, check those boxes. Commit to that week after week after week, and I guarantee you're going to look up one day and you're going to have your 100,000, just like I am. The other thing you have to do is erase doubt. Now, this is one of the hardest things that we will ever do because doubt creeps up on us unexpectedly. It could be in the form of a parent, it could be in the form of a friend, it could be in the form of something you watch on TV or hear on anywhere. But we have to develop the tendency to take that doubt and flip it. Anytime we hear it, flip it. Go back to your goal and the fact that why not you? Why can't you accomplish what you've been gifted to want? Because you weren't, you didn't come up with that. You didn't come up with that goal. This was something that was actually endowed and put within you and just rose to the surface of your ability to recollect or have recognition on what it is that you want, but you didn't put that thought within yourself. So if it was a gift from God, why wouldn't the accomplishing of that goal be a gift of God? As a result, you have to use that thought to erase all doubt. You have to use thoughts and similar thoughts to erase all doubt. Look back at when you were barely able to crawl. And now, whether you're walking or running or sprinting, look at your journey, how far you've come already. How the little bit you have to go probably pales in comparison. I know that because if you're somebody who's watching this, you're a serious athlete. Think about when you weren't serious. Think about when you were just getting started. That distance you've made from zero to where you are now was much greater than the distance you have to go from where you are now to getting what you want, to accomplishing your goal as an athlete. And that is why the waiting is the worthy part of formula. Okay. So I hope this helps, guys. Continue to clock in, check in with us every Saturday, 12 p.m. Eastern. Continue to like, subscribe, and share. Continue to check out our website, jp3training.com, where we've got lots of digital courses and other ancillary services where you can connect with us. And we'll see you next video.